Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. Welcome to iBUG Buzz episode number 515, the first iBUG Buzz not only for the new year, but in our new time slot. So welcome to everyone who is joining in live or via recording. So yes, this call is being recorded. I am Maria, and I will be facilitating the conference call this evening along with SANDHYA. And so to clarify, after my whole intro, this is the iBUG Buzz for Monday, January 3rd of 2022. This is an open forum for anyone with questions or issues with their iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Apple Watch, or Apple TV. Anyone who would like to become more proficient in using the accessibility features of these iDevices, we do tend to emphasize the use of the voice over screen reader on this call. So in order to keep the call as high of a quality as possible, again, because it's being recorded and podcast in all kinds of places, we kindly have a few rules that we ask everyone to follow to help keep things running smoothly. We ask that you all stay on mute when you're not speaking. We also would request that when you want to ask or answer a question, you unmute, then you say your name and you wait to be acknowledged by one of the facilitators. Again, that's myself, Maria, or SANDHYA this evening. So we don't use the raise hand feature of Zoom, just to be absolutely clear. Very important also, please do not just speak out or make any kind of exclamations or interruptions while others are speaking. When you do want to announce yourself, do wait until there's a bit of a break in the conversation. It's kind of speaking over each other. It's very distracting and disruptive. Once you've asked or answered a question, we ask that you give some other participants a chance to ask or answer questions so that everyone gets a chance to participate in the meeting before you ask your next one. And very important, kindly minimize background noise. So no phones ringing or people talking or TVs or clock chimes or all kinds of things of that sort. If we do have to tell you a couple of times that you have too much of it going on, we might have to unfortunately remove you from the call in order to keep the quality again as high as we can. In terms of the ways to mute and unmute yourselves during this call, in the Zoom app on an iPhone, the mute button, and this is a toggle in all cases, that mute button toggle is at the bottom left corner of the screen. In the Zoom app on the iPad, that toggle is at the top center of the screen. On a Windows PC, you're going to use Alt-A to toggle the mute status. On a Mac, it's with Command-Shift-A. On the Mac and PC, you can also use the space bar as a push to talk, meaning when you hold it, you temporarily get unmuted and you say what you want to say, and then you release the space bar and you're back to being muted. And if you're dialing in on a phone, you're going to use star 6 to, again, toggle that mute status. So now I would like to turn it over to SANDHYA to give us some iBUG related announcements of how you can be in touch with us and what kind of just some of the many events that we hold. SANDHYA.
Hey, okay, welcome and Happy New Year. Thank you, Maria. And so quickly, what's going to be happening this week in iBUG? Getting started with this new year, have some new times and some new programs, or old programs in new times. So the best way to get all the information is to visit our website at ibugtoday.org, ibugtoday.org. That's the best place. And while we're talking about social media, let me go ahead and tell you about facebook.com/groups/ibugtoday, a great place to pose questions and get answers. Lots of questions and lots of answers are available there. Follow us on Twitter. Our handle is @iBugToday. Then let's see what else. Let's go ahead and tell you about our programs that are coming up this week. So obviously we're here at iBUG Buzz Monday night, and we are at 7 p.m. Central. We have moved up a half an hour, and we will end at 9. So 7 to 9 So get used to the new time and everybody can go to bed early or whatever they want to do after this. Okay. Then Tuesday, we have Clubhouse, and tomorrow will be Mac Buzz. So that'll be tomorrow from 5 to 6. And then on Thursday, we have Trekkie Talk, watching season 3 of Discovery episodes 11 and 12. Then Friday is iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies. We will have the big reveal at halftime. Then Saturday, my goodness, we have iBUG Unplugged, and that will be on Clubhouse at 8 p.m. And it's basically, I think it's adjusting the rear view mirror. Come and figure out what that means. I think it's reflecting on the past year. Then finally, exciting, we have our cafe, the first cafe on Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. all time central here. And there we will be talking about Zoom. Okay. And you may think, well, maybe we know a lot about Zoom, but there are still a lot of issues and how to manage and how to mute. And I mean, there's some skills that we already know, but there's a lot of other settings and maybe talking about those kind of issues. So some more of the nuances of Zoom. So that will be a very informative training session. Definitely encourage you to visit there. And with that, I will hand, I forgot to mention our mentoring program, sorry. The iBUG Jumpstart Mentoring Program is a free 12-week session. And there we help new users get, we match them up with one of our amazing advanced users. And then they will be on their way to unlocking the amazing power of the iPhone. So if you would like to be a part of that program, please complete the application on our website. And the converse is true. If you'd like to be a mentor, you could also fill out that corresponding application. All right, with that, Maria, I hand it back to you.
All right, thank you, Sandhya. So with that, we're going to go around and introduce ourselves and where we are from. So I am Maria in, well, I was going to say Albany, New York, but right now I'm in Rhinebeck, New York. And feel free to unmute yourselves and tell us your name and where you're from.
This is Herbie, and I'm still in Houston, Texas.
All right, welcome.
This is Terry, and I think I'm on Mars again. I am tired of all the snow already and the cold temperatures, so I went to Mars. But I'm really in Arlington Heights, Illinois.
All right, welcome.
Dana in Ohio.
Welcome, Mr. Dana.
This is Judy in Connecticut, and we don't have any snow yet.
I know, we don't either here. Welcome, Judy. Oh.
Miss
Right.
Kathy from Tulsa.
Hello.
Jerry from Tulsa.
Welcome.
Marty from
North
Philly.
Carolina.
Marty and Orlean, was it? Orlean. Oh, I got them both. Yeah, I'm getting better. Getting two at once. Welcome. All right.
Roy in Fort Worth.
Hello.
Karen in Philadelphia.
Welcome.
This is Dan from San Diego, California.
Hello.
Ned from Texas.
Welcome. Yes.
Chanel in Houston.
Welcome, Chanel.
Jody from New Hampshire. Happy New Year, everybody. And we haven't got snow here either.
Welcome, Jody, and welcome, Mr. McCulloch.
No snow here either.
Yeah. All right.
Jim in Central PA.
Hello.
Hello. We don't have any snow either, thank God.
Yeah.
This is Helene in Arizona. We had a freeze alert this morning.
My goodness. Welcome. All right.
This is Kushal.
Kushal and Greg. And I feel like I missed someone who was talking in the earlier. If I did.
Sabrina from Texas.
Welcome. All right. Anyone
Freddie
else?
from Galveston County.
Welcome. All right. Anyone
This
else?
is Stephen. This is Stephen from Austin.
Hello. Welcome. All right. Anyone else? All right, very good. Well, with that, who would like to get, oh, yes. Anyone else? Did I miss with intro? Okay, well then who would like, no pressure, but who would like to get us started with the first iBUG Buzz question of 2022?
This is Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
I have a question and a clarification because maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention. When SANDHYA, when you mentioned tomorrow's iBUG meeting for the whichever one that is that on is that here on Zoom now, or is that on, where is that meeting? I can't think of the other, on Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
Okay.
All right.
This is
yes.
Herbie.
And my
okay. Herbie, were you going to answer that?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
So what we're doing now is we're still having our Tuesday meetings on iBUG, but the first and third Tuesdays are going to be devoted to the Mac Buzz. I'm well acquainted with the person who's facilitating that one, and yeah, and so that's how I'm in the know on these things. And then the second and fourth Monday is going to be the regular iBUG mini buzz.
But they're
and
still on
this is
Clubhouse.
Tuesday.
Yes.
To be, yeah.
Now the other call has moved to Zoom, the rear view mirror one, whatever that's called, iBUG Unplugged.
Unplugged, yeah.
But the other one is still on Clubhouse. So.
But I really do have a question too.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see. I don't see the screen at all, but I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how to do, if somebody sends a text message and another person then sends a like or a love or whatever, I cannot for the life of me figure out how to find that and how to do that.
Okay, so how to read them and or how to react to messages, is that correct?
No, how to send a like or a love.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it. All right, who would like to tell, that's a nice question to start the year off with. Who would like to tell Terry how we like messages?
This is Jim.
All right, go ahead, Jim.
Are you talking about iMessages on the phone, or are you talking about Facebook?
iMessages on the phone, on the iPhone.
I believe that you can swipe up or down while you're in that message, but don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to anything. Okay.
Disclaimer. Okay, I'll go.
Yeah, why not?
No, so Jim is actually correct. What you do is you swipe down to where it says react, and then you double tap on that, and you're going to see a couple of options. Heart, which is love, thumbs up, which is like, thumbs down, which I think is dislike. I don't know. I've never used that one. I think there's an angry one. There may be one or two others, but yeah, it's all under react. And so you swipe down to react, and then you double tap, and you'll find all your reactions there. And it does not work in text messages, only iMessages.
All right. Anyone else with any comment on that? Okay. Good to know that it doesn't work, because I thought I had reacted in text, but good to know that the other person doesn't see it. So, and Terry, just FYI, it's interesting voiceover when it's reading the types of reactions that you can choose. It will say the thumbs up, thumbs down, heart, exclamation, question, and haha. But then when you actually, pick them and it's voiceover is like describing what you or someone has done, it'll actually tell you like it'll say like emphasized for the exclamation, or loved for the heart, and so on and so forth. So it's like two different ways of describing them. All right, go ahead, Shri.
You could also, if you're active on that iMessage, you can do a one finger triple tap. That will bring up the like and the heart, and you just have to swipe right or left to go through those options and double tap to select it.
All right, very good. The context menu, very good. All right. Who would like to ask our next question?
This is Jerry from Tulsa.
Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
Hi. This is my
Hi,
first
go ahead.
time being on this.
Oh,
I've been on
well,
several
oh
of
my,
the Friday
I
night meetings.
Uh-huh. Well, welcome
But this
to
is
the
my first
iBUG
time
Buzz
being on
call.
here. So, thank
Very
you.
good. Well, welcome.
I'll try to be as brief as I can. Basically, I have a home security app that is on my iPhone. I am totally blind, so it is total voiceover. And when someone rings my doorbell, there's an intercom type thing that will come up, and I can go to the app on my phone, and I have to hold the talk button in order for me to say, hello, who is it? And then I let go of the talk button, and then that person out on my porch can answer. And then for me to respond, I have to touch and hold the talk button. Well, with the voiceover, I'm finding that difficult. So if anyone has any solutions to that, I would be eternally grateful.
All right. Can you just clarify a little when you're saying you're having a difficulty with voiceover? Is it not allowing you to
Well, what happened? Yeah, because when I hold, when you find the talk button, you have to swipe until you find the talk, and then when you find the talk, then I touch it to hold it, but it will, and I've done it so many times that I gave up, and it's probably been about a month ago now, trying to remember what would happen, but it seemed like it just won't recognize it, or it wants to do something else, or it's not allowed. Now, if I turn voiceover off, then it works fine. But with the voiceover on, when it says it, well, then I have to double tap or tap once.
Yep. All right. Who would like to answer this one of how we double tap, or how we what we do in voiceover when I need to hold
a button down to basically.
Yep.
This is Shri.
All right, go ahead, Shri.
So a couple of questions. That's an interesting way of communicating. But my question is, do you know if that talk button is way down at the bottom as you're swiping? Do you know if it's like the bottom row?
I don't believe it is. I want to say it seemed like when I was looking over my screen, it was more toward the middle or top, I believe. It was not at the bottom.
This is Shri. So if you touch the middle of the screen, does it usually land you on the talk button?
I want to say it was toward the middle, but
okay.
Again, that's been about a month ago because I gave up Kathy's one that said, ask the iBUG group, they can help you. So it's been a while.
The reason I'm asking question is typically when they have something like that, there's only a few buttons on a, when somebody's at the door with the video. At least that's the way it is in mine. So I'm guessing, it's probably the biggest button, if you could visually see it, is probably what it does to do the two-way talk conversation. The other question I wanted to ask is, do you know if it's possible in the settings that it has an auto answer when the doorbell comes so that the two-way communication automatically gets initiated instead of the push and hold to talk?
I would have to look at that again. It seemed like we went into settings, and if there was such an audio setting, I may have not known what the SANDHYA that meant, so I just skipped it. But you're saying under settings there may be an audio to where when someone does ring the doorbell, it automatically switch over to that audio. Is that what you're saying?
This is Shri.
Yep, go ahead, Shri.
So like in my doorbell, when when somebody hits the doorbell, the two-way mic is automatically turned on. So I'm just wondering on your particular alarm system if that is one of the features that you can turn on. Because I definitely see, pushing the button, talk, then release, and have that person talk, and you push the button. That seems a lot of work to have.
It is. Could it act like a microphone, like on your old CB radios or, whatever. So I understood the concept, but with voiceover, it's hard to hold a button down because it thinks you're trying to do something else. But that, I thought about just putting a bump dot or something there, but the whole idea is when I try to hold it down with the voiceover on it, it doesn't know what I'm trying to do. So go to settings and look for audio.
Yes, and this is Sri. Just one of the final questions.
Yeah, go ahead, Sri. Yep.
Do you know who makes that? Because I may want to just read up a little bit on it because I've
Vivint, VIV. Oh, good grief. VIV. If you didn't ask me, I would know. V as in Victor, V as in Victor, ANT Tango, I believe. And it's a really good system. I mean, it's got, I really liked it. And it was in the house when I moved in it. So I thought, well, I'll just keep it. And it worked really good as far as everything else, and alarming and disalarming and when the door's locked and lights on and, thermostat and everything. But I just can't seem to get that talk mechanism to work. And I don't want to answer my door if I don't know who's there.
Yeah. Let me back up. So Jerry, I just want to make sure. How are you trying the double tap, the hold? So VoiceOver has a so it sounds like what this is needing is a bypass of VoiceOver kind of temporarily for the next gesture. And VoiceOver does have a feature of double tapping and then holding, which I mean, depending on, so you hold so you do, if you're going to double tap to activate, but then you keep holding your finger down. Right. Is that how you're trying to do it? And it's not recognizing
that's what
that?
I'm trying to. Right. That's what either the double tap or just single tap. Like once I find it and it says talk, well then I just tap it once and hold it. And that wasn't working then.
Right, but have you tried? So when you find the talk, or have you tried the double tapping and holding once you find it?
I have tried swiping until I found talk, and then just held my finger down, and then I have tried just dragging my finger around until I found talk, and holding my finger on it. And then I've also tried finding it and then double tap and then holding.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
This
So
is Sri.
you've tried all of them. Okay, go ahead, Sri.
This sounds like, these typically, my parents used to have this kind of intercom alarm in their house. It's basically you push and talk, and then you release is when you're hearing the other person talking. It sounds like the app is doing the same thing as that console in the front door is doing.
Exactly.
I would definitely take a look in the settings to see if there's any kind of features for the audio where you can just turn it to come active two-way instead of doing the push button. And it may end up being I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I just, there's a delay sometimes with the iPhone. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I meant as far as that is what I should look for in settings. There's something that says auto or something. Is that kind of what I'm looking for?
I would say yes. Look at the audio, and I'm going to take a look at that one too, because that seems like it's to me, if that's the way it is, it doesn't seem to be a very user friendly way of doing it. Because nowadays, most of these, when the doorbell goes off, the two-way microphone is activated, and for years it's a one-way audio till you initiate that button. So it seems a little odd, but maybe that's the way it's built. But it's a little bit of homework to look at because that's very interesting.
I even like it because with my being hard of hearing, I don't really hear the doorbell, but I hear it on my phone. I'll actually have a doorbell and my phone will kind of vibrate and say someone is at your door. And I think that's where the talk button comes up on the screen. So it's getting ready for me to, use the intercom if I want to, but there's other things there. Like I said, I just couldn't figure out how to use it like a hold or a microphone button. And they told me to go to the panel on my wall. Well, it's clear. I don't know why they built it this way, but it's clear at the kitchen, which is the opposite end of the house. And to go there to use the talk button on the panel, that's really just kind of silly that it's on my phone. There has to be a way I can figure that out.
Right. And this is Maria. I wonder, and this is just purely a speculation on my part, but the thing I thought of was, there are certain texting, like I think WhatsApp has this, like when you typically would double tap and hold to record, but you can lock the recording by once you double tap and hold to activate the record button, then you can do a swipe up to lock the button in the on record position, and then you can let it go and you can freely record, and then there's a stop button that you can swipe to. So I wonder, I'm just speculating, like, is there a lock feature on this app, like on this button, if you did the double tap and hold and then just keeping your finger down, swiping up. Again, I have no idea. So but I agree. It seems like very like intensive, because like why would you want, it makes no sense. Like, why can't you just toggle it on and off? So
well, I was just gonna go buy a whole other intercom system and get a two-way mic or something. I needed to get just so I would know who's at my door. And but I thought, well, there's enough when I said that when Kathy said ask you guys, maybe somebody might know. But the gentleman, I didn't get your name, but thank you for your tips and your suggestions.
So this is Jody.
Okay, Jody, is it on this question or another?
Yeah, I just wanted
question?
to clarify one
sure.
thing, because Jerry Sri had suggested that you look for the auto setting, not the audio setting. That you want to find something that says auto for automatic.
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri. Yep.
No, audio. Look in the audio settings.
Audio. Okay, but you want to set for automatic answer though.
That's right. You want to set up. See if you can set up the speaker to go two-way audio.
I apologize. Thank you for recognizing
Sorry,
that. Yeah, because I was saying audio, AUDIO, and you're saying auto, AUTO.
This is Sri.
Yep, go ahead, Sri.
Just to clarify.
So I think there are two layers.
Right.
Yes,
so
go
what
ahead.
you want to do is you want to go to the audio section and see if you can set up an auto option to turn on the two-way mic.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, guys. I think we need to.
All right. Well, good luck. Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Very good. Well,
Thank
good
you,
question, Jerry. Good luck with that. And hopefully you can either come up with a solution on this one or get another one. So, all right.
I'll let
very
you
good.
know.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Who would like to ask our next question?
This is Herbie.
Dana.
All right. Let's go with Dana first, and then we'll come back to you, Herbie.
Okay. Hello, New Year, everyone. I am expecting a new iPhone Thursday, and
Exciting.
Pardon me?
I said exciting.
Oh, yeah. And I have never transferred all my stuff by myself. I have it all backed up in the cloud, but I've never transferred myself. I've always had a sighted person do it. How do you transfer from your old phone to a new phone?
All right. Who would like to talk about that? Transferring. I know several of us have gotten phones pretty recently. All right.
This is Jim.
All right, go ahead, Jim.
Yes, I transferred from a 10R to a 10R, and that was an interesting experience because I didn't realize the 10Rs had a SIM card in them. I come from Verizon. So what I actually did was back up the old phone, and with the new phone right next to it, I started the restore process, and what I actually had to do was hold the new phone over the old phone so I could see the screen, and then it transferred all the apps. You know, took a picture of it, of the screen, transferred the apps, and then after that it did the data. So it's actually a two-step process. So that's how it worked for me. And then I found out I had to swap the SIM cards out over from the old phone to the new phone, the replacement phone.
This is her.
All right. We'll take, I'm guessing, Dana, are you asking for a clarification on that?
Yeah.
Okay, yep, go ahead, and then we'll come back to you, Herbie.
Also, the SIM card. But do I lay the old phone or the new phone on top of the old phone?
So this is Herbie.
All right, go ahead, Herbie.
So first of all, I want to mention there are two ways you can actually transfer phone data. You can do the phone-to-phone method, which is what Jim uses, and that's what I use. Or you can do an iCloud transfer, which means you enter in your iCloud information on your new phone. And but basically, otherwise, with the phone-to-phone transferring, you kind of just point the camera of the new phone at the old phone. I turned off the screen. Actually, I turned off voiceover, I think, just to make sure that there would be nothing to obstruct its view. And, you know, it just saw the phone thing and it worked for me. Chanel had a little bit of problems. Now, the other thing, though, that phones are doing now, I don't know if this is for all companies, but they're trying to do what's called Aesim Activation. And so if your phone's doing that, then you won't even have to worry about SIM cards and all that type of stuff. So you may not even have to worry about that. But basically, yeah, you just aim the camera of the new phone. You kind of point it at the screen of your old phone, and it'll see it. And the phones have to be nearby each other for it to work, and it will take a little bit of time for stuff to transfer over. But I had no problems. Chanel did have a little bit of problem with hers. So, you know, I'm not sure why it works sometimes and doesn't others, but you can do that, or you can just do a standard iCloud restore where, you, like I said, you enter in your iCloud information and it gets all your data that way.
This is Shri.
Okay, go ahead, Shri.
Dana, you could also, I've done this, I don't regret it. I call Apple Accessibility. I do the phone-to-phone transfer, but the Apple Accessibility screen share, they can actually see both. I mean, they can see the device that you're trying to connect to the new phone. They can tell you how to line it up. If you had issues, I had issues lining it up, and you know, obviously having someone with sight to see it, you know, they can obviously make this transition a lot easier for you. And in the event that something doesn't go well, you have them on the phone with you to help you troubleshoot it. So yes, you can definitely do it on your own, but if you want some help, Apple Accessibility is there to do that for you.
Okay, great.
This is Kushal.
All right, go. I think I heard Sandhya first, and then we'll take Kushal.
Yeah, so I would just, Dana, I would encourage you to make sure that the new phone is totally, you know, that they're on the same operating system, because I've done this before and for whatever reason I've had issues and I was like, well, this isn't good. That makes it easier. So that might be one thing to make sure of.
Okay. All right, and then Kushal.
So speaking of iCloud backup, I think with the newer update, if you go into the backup and the reset phone, transfer and reset, I think it gives you have an option to, like, usually with iCloud it gives you a default 5 gig storage, but for backing up the purposes of backing up, it does allow you like more. It gives you more storage or something.
Oh yes, that's a new thing. Yeah,
that's a new thing on the update. So it does give you. I think that's valid for like 28 days or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that is a new thing that's come out, which is good in a way.
Yeah.
This is Shri.
Okay, go ahead, Shri.
Dana, which phone are you going from and to?
I'm going from an Apple 8 to a 13 mini.
Okay. The only reason I'm going to bring this up is I had some issue restoring an 8 Plus to my 12 Pro, and I could not figure it out because if it was a fingerprint versus a Face ID, when I did do the update, some of the features did not work, that it was tied to fingerprint, and Apple could not figure out what it was. But when I didn't restore it, the backup from my 8, it worked perfectly fine. So I'm not sure you're going to encounter that, but I just want to let you know I ran into that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Maria. I can actually confirm that when I went from my 7 to my, and it was not a Plus, it was just a 7 to my 12 Pro. I actually have the same thing, and I did the data transfer as others have described with putting the phones near each other. And I, like, for example, I have some notes that are locked and it won't allow me to unlock them with Face ID. I have to enter my password. So so I have experienced that as well. And I'll just in terms of the SIM card thing, Dana, I guess it depends on your like for me, when I selected, I have AT&T, and when I selected that, I mean, I got an unlocked phone, but like when I purchased mine, I did it through the Apple store and I selected AT&T, and it is a physical SIM, but they had actually already put it in, and I just got prompted to activate that SIM, even though it's a physical, it was able to be activated, you know, electronically. As far as yes, it was definitely a physical, because I had a SIM ejection tool in the box, which I didn't need to use. But yeah, so it just kind of, it did work. Go ahead, Herbie.
Yeah, no, this is something new with the eSIM that they just recently started doing.
Okay, got it.
This is
okay.
Okay,
Right.
thanks everyone.
All right, very good. Well, happy playing with your new phone. All right, and good luck with the data transfer. Hope it all goes smoothly. All right, Herbie. Yep, go ahead. You were next.
So I want to tell you all about an experience I had the other day with my Apple Watch. We've kind of talked about this before, but some of you may know, the Apple Watch lately has this whole muting issue, where sometimes it'll just go completely silent, and unfortunately, that affects everything, including the SOS siren. So I was trying to power down my watch, because the only way to fix it is to power down the watch and reboot it. So Friday night, I was trying to power down the watch. I accidentally hit emergency SOS. I think I prevented it from calling 911 because they never called me back, because I saw on my phone call in progress. So I could double tap that and then do a 2-finger magic tap to hang up the call real quick. That was the only way I even knew that it was for actually doing the emergency SOS. And anyway, but a couple of things happened as a result. So first of all, if your watch powers off like that, I recommend you disable the emergency SOS when you're holding down the power button feature, which you can do in the watch and emergency SOS, but you're still going to have an emergency SOS on the power off screen. So if you're in that situation, I have the button, I have my watch on my left wrist with the buttons facing away from me. So if you hold down the power button and then you flick to the right, that will get you to the power off. But if you flick to the left, that will get you to the emergency SOS. But here's the other thing that kept happening on Saturday too. After my watch got fixed, the emergency SOS siren still kept going off. And what I had to do is there was this notification that it was constantly saying that, my location is being shared with my emergency contact, which I'd set up in the health app, actually, thanks to this call. And so once I turned that off, then I no longer had problems with the emergency siren going off. So I thought I'd mention that in case anybody runs into any similar problems with their Apple Watches.
All right. Well, thank you for that. That is very disconcerting, but good to know.
Yes.
All right.
And then I actually do have a quick question, or I can come back to it later.
Yep. 1 sec. Sandhya, were you gonna?
Yeah, I think Greg was next in line. Herbie, you can come back later.
Yep.
So let's get to Greg. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just going to offer one more suggestion for Dana on the old phone.
Sure.
You might want to go into settings and your ID at the top there, and check on the iCloud what is actually backing up to iCloud, and just make sure that you've got everything backing up to iCloud that you want backed up.
All right, very good. All right, thank you for that. All right, who would like to ask the next question?
Hey, this is Kushal.
Okay, go ahead, Kushal.
I will mention one thing and I'll ask the question later on. But for anyone who is using the Dolby On app, now for those people who don't know what it is, it's an app that records in 3D, like it gives you it records in spatial audio, basically, if that makes sense. And there was a really annoying bug with VoiceOver where if you go into the recording itself from the library, the VoiceOver would slow down like significant, swiping right with one finger would take about, 10, 20 seconds, for the response. I had emailed the iBUG support team about 1 or 2 months ago. And good news, this bug has been completely fixed.
Very good. Well, thank you for sharing that, Kushal. It goes to show that writing to these developers, it can work very well at times. So
yeah,
that is very
and
good.
Can I ask a question now, or do you want me to ask later on?
Let me, just because you've made a comment now and I've done, let me come back to you.
Okay, cool.
For questions. Yep. Let me just ask you very quickly about that app. So is it in a way trying to kind of simulate as much as can be on the phone, like a sort of binaural recording effect?
Yeah. So it gives you a 3D audio. I think Herbie, you use it, don't you?
Yeah, this is Herbie.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, Herbie.
Okay, so it's not true stereo recording. What it does is it adds a stereo effect to your voice. So the mic is in mono, but your voice will come out in stereo, but you won't have things coming out like, say, in your left and right. The idea is, like, say if you were doing karaoke and you want to have your voice coming out in a stereo form, with the backing of a music track. But here's the other trick though with that app. I've done 2 different things with it. You can do a lot of effects with it, noise reduction, stuff like that. But if you have, like I have the Sennheiser stereo headphones, if you plug those into the phone, you can record in literal surround sound because those headphones are in stereo. And it'll record in true surround sound, but you can also import files into the app as well. So let's say you have a music track that you want to see if it is sound good in surround sound, you can import it and it'll treat it like a file that you've recorded in the app. So that's especially where this voiceover bug being quashed can really help if you're, especially when doing stuff like that too. So
and also,
and it's free, by the way, too, and it can do audio and video. So
interesting. Okay, and then go ahead, Kushal. You were gonna say, yep.
Yeah. So also, what it does, it actually checks your mic and everything, like, or automatically gives you this visual thing as well. That if your mic is overloading, it'll try and adjust the ambient, noise and all that. So it's quite good. It's a great app.
All right, very cool. All right, thank you for that. All right, who would like to ask the next question or make the next comment on a new topic?
Well, this is Dana again. I have a different question.
All right. All right, sure. We'll take your question and then we can come back to, we have a couple of other repeat questions too. So, all right, go ahead.
Okay. This completely different question is, I have done something in settings. I don't know what I did, but once in a while I get something when I'm swiping around on the screen. I get a speech screen and I have no idea what that does. Do you know anything about it or how to get rid of it?
All right. Who is that?
This is Kushal again.
Yep,
Sorry.
Kushal, go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, so that is speak screen. So what speak screen basically does, it speaks the entire screen for you. This is useful for people who are low vision, basically. So you can turn that off in accessibility settings.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good luck with that. I will say I've heard though about, and Kushal, you might know, was it maybe on Jonathan Rosen's? He showed a couple of instances where having a speak screen was useful. Was it like when reading passages of text that you could get the use of like the new Siri, the neural text to speech voices? And I think also you could have voiceover like reading some content. I mean, well, it wouldn't actually be voiceover. You could have speech, reading like a book or something, and you could lock your screen or something like that, and it would continue reading. It's been a while since I've heard these things, but I did kind of remember those would, maybe be two potential things where it could be beneficial to, keep it around. If you invoked the, the speak screen, you do it from the status bar, I believe, and then it doesn't conflict with the voiceover two-finger swipe down. But so, maybe if some of that is a use case for you, you might want to just keep it there, but otherwise you would, and what is it in, like it's under vision, right? Is that right, Kushal? Or
yes, I can double check that and come back to this.
Okay,
This is Shri.
all right, go ahead, Shri.
So basically, that is really geared towards low vision people who are not using voiceover, because your voiceover also gives you the option to read the whole screen. A lot of sighted people would use this. So, for example, my wife uses it when there's a large document that she would need to read. So what she would do is just enable it and then do the two-finger swipe. I believe it's swipe up, just like we do swipe up, and it just reads the document for her, so she doesn't have to sit there and mind read it, but just let it read to you. So it's a pretty convenient way of having a large document or any document be read to you.
Yeah, so this is Kushal.
All right, go ahead, Kushal.
So it is under accessibility and under spoken content. So it's under, it's under vision,
okay.
but it's under accessibility and spoken content.
Okay, very good.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, very good. All right, let's go back to, since we had a queue of some questions here. Let's go to Herbie. Let's take your question next.
All right, so my question is, so I have an iTunes gift card that I got, it has a balance on it, and then, but there's an app I want to subscribe to, like a monthly subscription service type thing, not, my question is, will it take out of that iTunes gift card balance, or is it going to bypass that and charge my card directly?
Oh, interesting question. All right, does anyone know the answer to this one? Has anyone used? I have not
Kelsey?
used them. Okay, go ahead, Kelsey.
It's been a while since I've done that, but I think the iTunes balance is the default, but I think you can have it charge your card.
All right, well, I want it to charge the balance, not the card. That's why.
Yeah, I think what'll happen is it a monthly subscription?
Yeah, it's a monthly subscription.
Okay, so it's my understanding that it will charge the balance of your iTunes gift card, and once that balance has been used, then it will charge your card, I think.
All right, perfect.
All right, very good.
Yeah,
well, you'll have
is,
to let us. Okay, yep,
yeah,
go
this
ahead,
is
Kushal.
Kushal.
Yep.
Yeah, that's correct. It will charge your balance first, and then it will charge your card.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Very good. All right, and Kushal, speaking of you, let's take your question that you had.
Okay, so I use this app called iTabler Pro. It's a music app. I actually did a demo on AppleVis as well for anyone's interested. I can post a link on Facebook. Anyway, now I suggested about the Magic Tap feature, and he basically, what happens is Magic Tap does work, but it only works when the microphone is on. and on the app. And I emailed the developer about this, and he said, I don't know if I have control over this, but I think he definitely does, because a lot of the apps are implementing it. So how do you explain how do you explain to him how to fix it? Because the developer does have control over the magic tap thing.
Right. And you're wanting the magic tap to start and stop, right? Whichever configuration of instruments. Yeah. Right.
It works, but it only works when the microphone of the app is on. It doesn't work otherwise.
That is very odd. Okay. All right. That almost seems like it's tied to like a dictation or something. If only Mike. That's very strange. Does anyone have any knowledge on this one from the development side? All right. Well, unfortunately, it looks like this one might be something.
This is Herbie.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Herbie.
You know, Apple does have an accessibility guidelines thing for app developers. Why don't you find that page and, see where it mentions the magic tap, and then you could email him the link to the page, tell him exactly what to look for.
Okay. All
That's
right.
what I would do.
might do that. Yeah, I might try and find it. But the app, it was accessible, but there were some, dimmed buttons and stuff. And I emailed the developer about this, and he's made the app completely accessible. So, thanks for that suggestion, though. Maybe I will try and find that page and email it. Is there a guide on AppleVis about the magic tap thing? I might try and have a look on AppleVis.
Yeah.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
I don't know, because AppleVis is of course primarily designed for the actual user in mind, but I would actually start by looking at Apple's own things first.
Okay.
But you could see if AppleVis has a link to it.
Okay.
Or I would include AppleVis as a secondary resource if they do have anything, if you can still find the thing from Apple first, but always go the primary source first whenever possible.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Herbie.
And Kushal, I'm very cursory looking up, and there is something, it says something about I Googled, what is this, Apple Developer Accessibility Magic Tap, and this thing came up, it says View Controller Programming Guide for iOS, and the featured snippet that Google came up with is saying stuff like Magic Tap, use the accessibility perform Magic Tap method to handle the Magic Tap gesture. And then it keeps going. So I think this might give you exactly, hopefully, what you are looking for. So
okay, thank you.
Very good. All right, good luck with that. All right, let's check. We have how much time? We have 10 more minutes until the halftime show. Who would like to ask our next question?
This is Shri.
This is Jim.
Oh, all right. I think I heard Shri first. Go ahead, Shri.
First, Maria, that was pretty impressive. The way you looked that up. I just wanted to make I want to talk about something that I discovered about the phone app. So, when we're active on a phone call, and we can go to the hide button, and we can mute someone. Now, if you tap and hold for 5 seconds, that mute becomes hold, where you don't have to hear the other person that's on mute yapping away. And then you can just tap and then you can swipe right to unhold, and it'll go back to mute.
Wow, that's a very cool little tip. I'm gonna have to try that. Well, thank you for sharing. Very cool. All right, Jim, you were next.
Yeah, I just didn't want you to forget. I think Greg had a question or comment.
Oh, thank you. I thought we did. Greg, did you have a second question?
No, I made the comment in response to Dana's question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. Sorry, Kushal, were you?
Hang on, sorry, we were getting some background noise.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay.
I need to make sure we can unmute though.
I think.
Oh, sorry. Okay, come back, Maria. Sorry. Okay, so they're able to unmute. Okay, I muted you again.
Oh, got it. Okay, sorry.
Okay,
Yes,
there we
thank
go.
you.
Sorry. Okay, but just everybody
No,
remember.
no problem.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes. So please, folks, do remember to minimize your background noise. Thank you, Sandhya, and thank you, Jim, as well. We definitely want to make sure we cover everyone for sure. All right. Who would like to ask our next question?
This is Marion.
Go ahead, Marion.
Hi. So I am wondering if people have experience using VoiceOver with any public transportation apps. Mostly this would be in bigger cities that have apps that will tell you the bus schedules, when they're coming, how late they are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure. All right. Who would like to? I'm sure we have some app recommendations that are, generally applied to lots of different places.
Well, these are usually specific to a certain public transit system.
Oh, okay. So that's what you're, because there are both, ways. There are apps that are, more widely,
This is Herbie.
Okay, go ahead, Herbie.
Yeah.
So it's not quite maybe what you're looking for, but like, for instance, our paratransit has a website that has a map and shows you where the vehicle is. So like on the website, we can actually see the vehicle number and it'll tell us like how far away it is. And there's like a visual map for people that people can actually see. Now this is actually built into their website and it works the same way on both the computer and the phone. And so I don't see why such a thing couldn't be possible for any other public transportation app. Maybe a little bit different, but I've definitely seen something accessible for paratransit. So yep.
Okay. Yep. And we have that in Albany here on our public buses. There's a real-time arrivals feature. Again, on their website, the app will take you to the website, and there is a real-time arrival. I don't know what it shows visually, but you can pull up a route and then it shows the stop. You set the direction and such, and you see a list of stops, and you pick the one, and it'll show you like what are the expected arrivals for like the next 2 or 3, with the first one being well, actually I think they are like more real-time actually arrivals, so because they will show if it's like a couple of minutes before or after the quote unquote scheduled time. So okay, go ahead, Marion.
And okay, so I'm assuming that's been very accessible for you, Maria, right? The Albany.
Yeah, I mean the times, yeah,
the
like
voiceover, the voiceover,
yeah, absolutely. Like
So
I've used it to
Herbie,
look at schedules and.
Oh, good. Okay, thanks. Well, with Herbie, what's the name of your paratransit system so I can Google it later, because I'm curious about the Metrolift in Houston. You're in Houston. Okay.
But you won't be able to see, like, I just want to mention though, like, you'll be able to see the main website, but because it's paratransit and not public transit, you won't be able to log in or anything like that. Now, they may use a similar system for their actual public transportation, so you may want to look up the actual Metro Houston instead for what you're wanting.
Well, I was actually interested in Tennessee Department of Transportation developing something statewide as a template that we
Jim
could
and
use.
Terry both have words of wisdom to impart.
Yes.
All right. Let's go ahead, Jim.
So you, sure. Thank you. There is an app out there. I believe it's called Move It. I have it on my phone. I have not used it in years because right now I'm not in a position to do public transportation. But you might look at that map, that app to see how it's laid out and what it will do for you, because I think it does work across several areas in the country.
Yes, yeah, and that is called and Mary, that is spelled MOOVIT. So not like the actual words. It's a little play on words.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, and Terry.
I was going to suggest that one, but there's also, I believe it's in several parts of the country. There's a Ventra app that we can use here for us, Move It is for buses and subway trains, but then Ventra is for paratransit as well as for commuter trains, which are different from the subway and the L and that kind of thing.
That's excellent. Thank you.
All right, very good. Well, good luck with it. And I know too, Google Maps, has in terms of just giving you information, like when you're planning out a route, here at least for me, like when I put in, I have a starting point and an ending, and then I can, it'll show me like various, route types, whether, walking, driving, whatever, but then it will also show ride services. And it'll show me the routes using my bus and such as well. And then I can see, that way, those are more, I think, based on schedule times rather than the actual arrivals, but I can see scheduled, times for stops and things like that as well. So.
This is Shri.
Well, I should have been more specific. Just, I'm sorry, Shri, just in case this affects your answer, because I was really interested in something that our regional paratransit service could adopt. So, Ventra and what Herbie mentioned, and maybe Shri knows of one, is more directly applicable, I guess, for what I was looking for. Thanks.
Okay. And then go ahead, Shri.
So I did a presentation on an app called Novulence, and I did it for some other reasons, but what they're really known for is what you're kind of looking for. They adopted this program just recently in San Antonio, and I was hoping that someone in this call from San Antonio could kind of explain it, but I actually have believe it or not, they gave me a bus stop in Spain because they're based in Spain, and I could take my camera and point at that sign, and it actually tells me in real time when the buses are coming. What I would encourage you is to try to talk to your state transportation to see if Novulence could be a good viable solution for you, because it is being used in other places. Like they use it in the LA Metro Center. I believe it's also in J Street in New York. And I know they implemented for all of San Antonio to use this, where you can point it at any bus stop and it'll give you real-time information. So it's worth trying. I'm waiting for how San Antonio is panning out. I want to try and bring it to the Washington, D.C. area if that works well, because it can be read like almost 100 feet away, depending on the size of the sign and so forth.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
All right. Good luck with that. And with that, we are at the halftime. So I'm turning it over to SANDHYA.
All right. Thank you, Maria. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So here we are. In case we would like for anybody who didn't get to say hello the first time around to go ahead and say who you are and where you're from.
Nikki from San Francisco.
Okay, Nikki, and who else? Carol, welcome.
Although I live in San Antonio, I have a severe allergic to the natural gas used in the vehicle, so I can't take the bus system or the paratransit system. Sorry, I can't help you, but I loved your presentation on other than.
All right, thank you, Carol. All right, anybody else want to say hello?
This is Brad. I'm in Dallas.
Hey, Brad, welcome.
Nancy
This
from
is
Penn.
Nancy, welcome.
This is Shri from Virginia.
Shri, welcome.
This is Claudia.
Hey, Claudia, welcome from Houston. Anybody else?
And of course, your favorite person, Kelsey, is here.
All right, welcome. Welcome. Anybody else? Anybody want to say hi? I know there was some people I wanted to make sure that if there was anybody new that didn't get to, just if this is your first time calling in, I think I recognize one of our new mentees on the call. So if you wanted to say hello and just say how you heard about iBUG, we'd love to hear from you.
This is Sabrina.
Yes,
Hi.
welcome, Sabrina. How are you?
Good.
Good. So how did you hear about iBUG?
The lighthouse.
Oh, great. And what devices do you currently have?
MacBook Pro and an iPhone.
Cool. Which iPhone? Or
12 Pro Max.
Cool. All right. Well, very good. Well, we are really happy, and she's one of our newest mentees. So welcome to you and good luck. And we're just so proud of you that you are on this call and starting the learning process. So welcome.
I'm sorry, Sandy, where's she from?
She's from Texas somewhere.
Okay, thank you.
Houston.
Houston.
Okay.
Oh, it's even better. Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you, Sabrina. Anybody else want to say hi? Didn't get to say hello the first time. Okay. All right. Very good. Quickly. Oh, well. So just in case you didn't notice, our new time now is starting at 7 p.m. Central Time. So it's a half an hour earlier, and then we will end at 9 p.m. Central. So that is, please make your calendar changes accordingly. So we're just glad that everybody's here with the new time, a new year, new time. All right, and so I know what comes next. We're going to reveal our iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies with our one and very own iBUG guy. iBUG guy, are you there? Oh dear. Oh my goodness. A new year, a new walk-up song. McCulloch, please.
Yes. I am here. Happy New Year to everyone. It is so good to be back with you. Been almost a year ago when I saw everybody last. Okay, so yes, so Sonia, as Sonia mentioned, we have the iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies coming up. And that's Friday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time for the pre-movie social, 8 p.m. for the movie start. And immediately following the movie, we have a discussion and some trivia. So lots of fun there. And to figure out what the movie's going to be for this week, we always do that with our fun little clues as part of My God Movie. All right. So let's get started. And the rules are the same as the regular call. Don't yell out any answers. Say your name, wait to be recognized by me, and then you may take a guess. We have several clues, and I've got some extra clues in case the first 5 are too hard.
No.
All right, let's get going. Clue number 1.
Okay,
Clue. Oh, wait.
Oh, stop.
Clue number 1. Here we go. Our film this week takes place, well, at least part of it, in a city we have seen numerous times before.
Okay, silence. That really narrowed it down.
All right. Anybody want to guess what city?
New York.
New York City. Yes. And he doesn't get any credit for that since he didn't say his name first and wait to be recognized.
We don't know who that was. Okay.
Yeah, we don't know who that. All right. Clue number 2.
Yeah, put him in the waiting room. Okay, go ahead. Clue number 2.
Clue number 2. We see numerous fedoras and flat caps.
Oh boy.
This is a tree.
Tree.
Made in Manhattan?
Made in Manhattan. I don't think so. Good try, tree. Anybody else? All right, moving to clue number 3. Wait, I didn't say that right. Clue number 3. The
what?
Can't understand that. The score is nostalgic mournful, evoking a lost era. It stirs, this thing is not reading right. It stirs emotions we shouldn't really feel. I got to say that one over again.
Oh, no, please don't. That was a bad clue.
The score is nostalgic, mournful, evoking lost eras, is stirs emotions we shouldn't really feel.
This is Brad.
Yes, Brad, take a guess.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. Oh, that is almost not even close. Okay, good guess, Brad.
It has an emotional score, though.
Emotional score.
What do you know about emotions, Brad? Okay, go on.
All right, moving right along. Moving right along. I've seen Brad get pretty emotional.
This is
Okay,
Shree.
Go on.
Oh, do we let Shree go again?
Yeah, he can speak now.
All right.
Is it
Shree.
Manhattan?
Didn't somebody already guess Manhattan?
No, I said Made in Manhattan, but there's also a movie called Manhattan.
That's the Woody Allen movie, right?
That's what I said.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear that part. Okay.
It's okay. I'm trying to help you out.
Thanks, Brad.
Is that right?
No.
Is that our movie?
No.
Okay, moving right along.
Move on.
Clue number 4.
Oh, please.
We have 2 compelling narratives, 2 superb lead characters, and lasting images. That part doesn't even make sense. Lasting images. Okay. We have 2 compelling narratives, 2 superb lead performers, and lasting images.
This is Shree.
Shree.
Is it the Twin Towers?
The Twin Towers, that's so close.
No, it's not. Okay, go on. These clues are getting worse, not better.
Clue number 5.
Needed extra 5.
That's why I had extra clues.
No,
Clue
we're not
number 5.
Okay, everybody
All right.
pay attention. Here we go.
This one may give it away.
I hope so.
One of the lead characters loses his remaining shred of morality and becomes an empty shell, insecure and merciless.
Is this Chris?
Chris.
The Godfather?
The Godfather, we have already seen that one. Good guess, though. That is very close. All right. This is going to give it away. Shree.
Is it Casino?
Casino? Oh, man. I thought I was going to get away with it, and I did.
Oh, my
No. All right, Brad.
Godfather 2.
Godfather 2. Ding, 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 ding. Yes, yes. Good guess on clue number 5.
Thank you, Brad.
But
Put us out of our misery. Actually, thank you, Chris.
Chris, Chris. Chris gave it away.
My partner there helped us all out.
The next clue would have given away the film was a sequel to a film that we've seen before. All right, Terry. I hear Terry out there.
Can I have permission to go make myself a Manhattan?
Make a Manhattan, yes.
Sure. Since you've mentioned them,
make a Manhattan.
And after all those,
go to Manhattan.
Make it a double.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, let's move on.
You can even go to Manhattan. That can make then it will be made in Manhattan.
Mr. McCullough, go.
All right, all right.
He's had a few.
All right, Johnny, what do we have for our winner tonight?
I thought you'd never ask. Okay, so for Brad and maybe Chris, I don't know, anyway, Brad, you are going to get your very own unique, this is definitely unique, gold telephone. All right, and if you're wondering why we're giving you a gold telephone, come and watch the movie. So
This is
Brad,
Jim.
we will enjoy your phone. Okay, go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I don't want to shout it out, but he should also get a trip to Havana.
He doesn't need a trip to Havana.
Sure
Thank you,
he
Jim.
does.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, moving along. Thank you, Mr. McCulloch. I hope you will now say good night to us, Mr. McCulloch. Good night.
This is the business we have chosen.
All right, whatever. Okay, good night, Mr. McCulloch. Say good night.
Say good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Okay,
Wherever
bye.
you are.
All right, very good. Okay, now back to our reality of our call. That was a little diversion. Okay, where were we? Okay, so also for that movie, it's a long movie, so take your nap during the afternoon so you'll be ready for all 3 hours and 20 minutes of the movie. Okay, now we're going to go back to the iBUG Bites segment, which is a brief segment showing you a tip or trick that will be useful to you in your daily life. And then we'll go back to all of our regular questions. So hang on, Maria will show us something pretty cool. I know she will.
All right, thank you.
Well, hang on, come back, Maria. Okay. You're muted.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yes, now I'm good. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. So yes, I am going to show you all how to add with an emphasis on the recurrence. So I'm going to show you how to add a recurring appointment in the iOS calendar, because it feels like every time I suggest, someone says, oh, they forget this meeting time, and it stays the same, not necessarily iBUG, but in general. And I say, add a recurring appointment in your calendar. And the answer is usually like, what? I can do that? Or how do I do that? Or, oh, I can't customize it to repeat on the, third Wednesday of the month or something. Well, yes, you can. So I'm going to show you how it is done. So if we're in the calendar app, and we're going to go to the add button.
Text field is editing. Title, character mode. Insertion pointed start.
Okay, so for the purposes of this little bite, I don't really have to put in a title, since I'm just aiming to show you some of these time fields, but I could just type in, I'll type in test. Okay, and now
text cleared hearing test with code.
Oh, this is
all day.
Okay, I skipped. So it was actually giving me suggestions of prior appointments that I had made with the word test in them. And so that can actually save you some time in creating new appointments. So next we go to the location field. We're going to move past that.
All day. Switch button off.
That is pretty self-explanatory. It will make this an all-day event if you turn that on.
Starts 9 p.m. December 31st, 2021.
Now, why that started in the past, I do not know, but I guess it gives me a good reason to show you, because this little interface here for picking the dates has gotten a bit of an overhaul lately. So as you can see, if I flick to the right,
December 31st, 2021 button collapsed.
So we now have two buttons, one for the date and one for the time. So as we can see there, the date is collapsed.
9 p.m. button collapsed.
And as is the time. So if I were to expand each of these, if I were to expand the month one.
December 31st, 2021 expanded.
So now we're going to go to the right.
9 p.m. button collapsed.
And
month. December.
Weirdly enough, it does initially take you again to the time button, but then, which we'll come back to. But then if I flick to the right, you see here now I land.
December 2021 button adjustable.
I land on this month button, which has appeared. That wasn't there before. And it says that it's a button and that it's adjustable. So for example, I can flick up or down. I can flick up.
January 2022.
To get to this month. And now if I move to the right, if I flick.
Saturday, January 1st, button. Sunday, January 2nd.
So now we literally get to a series of buttons, one for each day of the month. So you can either explore it by touch or scroll or what have you, but you want to pick which date you want. So just for fun, I'm going to select.
Selected Friday, January 7th.
So now in order to go back to the time, we do actually have to keep going back. So I'm flicking back to the left to get to the left of that whole month calendar that just opened. And I'm back on the time.
9 p.m. button. Collapse.
Again, remember that was collapsed. So we're now going to expand that.
9 p.m. Expanded.
Which now if we flick to the right.
9 o'clock. Picker item. Adjustable.
Has collapsed the date, the calendar for the date, and now the time is expanded. And these are picker items. So I can, let's say if I put 9 o'clock, flick to the right
adjustable.
For the minutes.
3 p.m. Picker item. Adjustable. 2 of 2.
And we have these 3 picker items. So I'm going to leave it, say at 9 p.m. We now reach the. And by the way, a tip, if you just need to change the date and not the time, I have found that the quickest way to then kind of proceed with the remaining fields is I've gone to the bottom of the screen and then gone backward to get to the end time field rather than scrolling through that calendar.
Times on New York button.
There's a time zone button. Again, this is related to the time that was just expanded.
Ends 10 p.m.
So the default ending time is an hour, and I'm not going to go through that because that literally works the same way as what we just went through.
January 7th, 10 p.m. Repeat.
So again, there you have, those are collapsed. Again, same principle as what we just did. So now we are interested in
repeat. Never.
This. So here's where we set the occurrence. So we're going to go into this dialog. We're going to double tap, and on the screen, this is a new screen.
Back button. Repeat. Heading.
And we have in our options, if I flick to the right,
selected. Never.
That's selected as we heard.
Every day, every week, every 2 weeks, every month, every year. Custom.
And so as you can see, there were a lot of these pre-selected repetitions, but there is now
custom button.
The custom button.
Frequency, daily.
And if we go into this custom,
repeat. Back button.
So you can see this is a new screen.
Custom, heading, frequency, daily.
Now this doesn't look like, it doesn't indicate what kind of control it is. And if I flick to the right,
every day, frequency.
That's another control. So even though it doesn't actually, tell you what it is, think of these things as buttons that can be expanded. So if I double tap on this frequency daily, and now flick to the right,
daily, picker item, adjustable, 1 of 4.
There's a picker item that's become expanded here, and we can pick daily,
weekly, monthly, yearly.
So any one of those. So like, let's say monthly, to go with my example, I picked monthly. So now we go to the second control. If we flick to the right,
every month.
Again, this doesn't tell you, but it is a button that you expand. So now you're saying every month currently, if I double tap to expand it.
Every month.
Now if we flick to the right.
1. Picker item.
So now.
Adjustable. 1 of 999.
So this is saying every what? So now it says like 1 month. So if I wanted it to be every 2 months, I would put
2.
I would flick
2
up
of 999.
I would flick up to 2, for example.
Months. Picker item.
And here we have a second item because it says every 2 what? And the only option we have here is months because of what we selected. selected in the frequency. This picker item could change if you selected a different frequency.
Event will occur every 2 months.
And if I flick to the right, you get that explanatory text with voiceover. But wait, there's more. Flicking to the right.
Selected each.
So now this is whether you want to have it select on each, and then, or if I flick to the right.
On the ellipsis.
Or on the. So right now we see each is selected, meaning if I flick to the right.
1. Diagram.
This is
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
this is
7, 8.
These are numbers, and I actually haven't
30, 31.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, these are I just went to the bottom of the screen. This is saying each and then on a specific date. So like you're saying each you know, so like we have every 2 months, so like, you know, January 3rd, March 3rd, you know, May 3rd, right? So based on that day of the month in this case, versus if I selected the one that says
on the ellipse selected
on the
ellipsis.
Now if I flick to the right,
first,
and this is a picker item, so first, second, third, or fourth,
Friday,
and day of the week.
Adjustable picker item.
So
adjustable
and that
6 of 10 picker first Friday.
And that one actually doesn't give you the nice explanation, but what it basically means is that we've now set this. I know it seems like a maze, but what I want to show you is that we can really customize our occurrence. So right now we have it set to occur on the first Friday every 2 months. So that's how we have this occurrence set. And the way you save what you've just done is there's no save. You just go back.
Repeat. Select.
And then you go,
custom.
So you go back to the repeat dialog and you see custom is selected, and then you go back again to the main event ad screen. And you see
calendar, travel, and repeat. Custom.
That it's a custom repeat.
And repeat.
And you can also select, if you flick to the right here, you can select whether you
never.
Again, it opens another screen, whether you never end the repeat or on a certain date. And then again, I won't go through that, but it's essentially then you pick the date on which the repeat ends. And so then, you know, other beyond that are, you know, the remaining fields, picking your calendar and travel time and invitees and your first alert and your second alert and your notes and such. But I really just did want to focus for the most part on, you know, setting the time of the appointment and especially the occurrence, because, you know, I know that has gotten a bit of a facelift of sorts, of redesigned recently, and also just because there is a bit of, you know, there's some layers to it, but I wanted to just show that how customizable that ability to set recurring appointments is in iOS. And I've used it a lot, and you can also, if you need to change one of the occurrences, you can just go in, edit the appointment, you make the change to that particular appointment, and then when you go to save your event, which there is a save button on this main event screen. Excuse me, it's an add button here, but it would be a save, you know, button if you were editing. It would ask you, do you want to save it for this event only or for all future events? So you can definitely have some choice there when editing occurrences too. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
All right, so people can unmute, say your name, and then Maria, if you have any questions for Maria. Thank you, Maria.
This is Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
Just for my clarification, because I got pulled away for a minute. Whenever you, regardless of what it is that you're wanting to either expand or minimize, it's always the double tap. Am I correct about that?
Yes, okay. The double tap is going to, yes. And again, it's going to vary. Like on the main event screen, you're nicely told that it's a button and you expand it or collapse it. But whereas on the occurrence screen, you're not told whether it's a button or whether it's expanded or collapsed or anything, but it does behave that same way. The double tapping is going to toggle the expanding or collapsing.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Question for Maria? Only Maria could do this demo in 5 minutes, I tell you. So, okay. That's a very useful feature. We've all talked about it. I mean, yes, go ahead, Kushal. Say your name.
Yeah, this is Kushal.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not on the events. I've got a different question regarding the calendar. You know, before you used to, on the calendar app, like I think there's been a redesign because before you used to see, if you go in the calendar app, you used to be able to see all the events, or like it wasn't day by day before.
Well, hang on, Kushal. Let's finish and see if anybody else has any questions for Maria, and then we'll come back to you. All right. Anybody have any questions for Maria on adding a recurring calendar event? Okay. All right. Thank you, Maria. Okay, Kushal, go ahead. Talking about seeing lists of events in calendar.
On the list of events on calendar, it used to be you'd be able to see all your list of events on the calendar. You can't seem to see them now.
All right.
Like
anybody encountered that on your calendar?
Yeah, this is Maria.
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen that as well. I do think it's just a big, as you said, Kushal, it's just this big overhaul. I mean, even this time thing, like that used to be way different. There used to be a bunch of pickers for the dates and the time, and it used to just, not this whole like expanded or collapsed thing or whatever. So yeah, I do. And even if you do select now list in, as your view there, like on the, what is it, the top middle of the screen, it's like you see a list going. I mean, I do see the dates like separated by heading, right? When I select a list, so I do see them, but I have to make sure I like touch the screen, like in the center, to get it to focus, because if I then just flick to the right after selecting the list, what is it even announced as a button, or is it just, yeah, it is. If I then flick to the right to the search and then add and then flick to the right, who knows where I'll end up in my list of events. So I do have to, like, sometimes I end up way in the past. So I find that if I am going to get something at all that looks like a list, I have to, after selecting that button, touch the center to get VoiceOver to like focus on, today or somewhere close. And then I do see it's like, and this is from the very first, I'm sorry, I do have to, like, when I go into, like, let's see, on the very first calendar screen, because I do have to go into a few layers. Like on that first screen where you have search and add, I do have to go into a certain time period. So like I selected like the current month, the January 2022, and now I have this list button in the top center that I can select. And then I see, again, the days are separated by headings and I see the events. But again, I have, I'm sorry. Hang on, I'm doing it again. And see, now I'm actually seeing, I'm seeing a date thing. But they're buttons. Yeah, I'm seeing buttons. And then I think I went in, it's one, wait, is it one more, like, it is very multi-layered. And then I'm, see now it's behaving inconsistently for me. I was seeing it at the beginning of when I was talking to you, and now I'm seeing them as buttons. So I need to actually play with that myself.
Okay. All right. So Kushal, it is a bug, or something that hopefully it'll be resolved soon. All right. Now we had lots of new people or people on the call that didn't get to speak. So we really want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to ask their question. All right, so who would like to ask a question? I mean, that's why we're here. So not people that have already spoken. So anybody new that wants to ask a question?
This is Joe.
Yes, Joe. Welcome. Happy New Year. Go ahead.
Thank you. Compared to the various things that you've been talking of and going through all the calendar, I'm such a novice, though I've been coming back for a long time. My telephone, I'll be using Siri. I'll be on a telephone call, and suddenly it starts talking to me. It says telephone, and then it will say who it is I've called, and may even say their telephone number at the same time that they are trying to speak. What in the world is happening?
Okay, just to clarify, is this when you are getting a call or when you're answering a call or what?
I'm making the call.
You're making the call.
I go into my contact. I tell Siri, call Tom.
Call Tom.
All right. And then it will ring and Tom may start to answer, but my telephone will say telephone call. Tom. Now, it may not say Tom. It may say Tom, and then it'll also give the telephone number.
Right.
At the same time, he's trying to tell me to say hello.
Okay. Anybody would like to help Joe on this issue? Somebody that hasn't had a chance to speak can help
This is
answer
Jake.
this question. Jake, welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, it sounds like it's a quirk within the iPhone itself. That's happened to me, and I find it kind of annoying. So what I do is I just swipe over to the right on the screen. I take it away from my ear and I swipe it over to the right, and then I put it back on my ear, and then that sometimes that'll work. I won't talk to you anymore.
Huh.
Okay. Thank you, Jake.
You're welcome. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. All right, go ahead, Terry.
I've noticed that with FaceTime as well, and so sometimes I'll do exactly what Jake did, or sometimes I'll just do a 3-finger double tap and turn the speech off for the time being.
Okay, so those are a couple of options for you,
This is
Joe. Yeah, Brad.
Now, what's happening is when the phone call is answered, the screen changes. It's got one little, I don't know how to say, list of buttons and things while it's ringing. But once the phone answers, there up at the top is a banner, and it's got the name of the person that you just called and the phone number, and your focus is on it. And so VoiceOver reads that. It is annoying. It does it at the most unopportune times, like right when the person answers the call. And there's a number of ways around it. I think maybe Terry just mentioned you can 3-finger double tap as you begin a phone call and mute your VoiceOver. And of course, you got to remember to unmute it when you're done because you don't have anything talking to you, but that is kind of one of the better ways to deal with it.
All right, Joe. I hope that will help you.
This is Shri.
This is Marty.
Okay, Shri and Marty, then we're moving on. Okay, go ahead.
Do you, just a curiosity question, do you know if that issue goes away? And Brad said banner, but if we did a full screen on the incoming call, would we still encounter that problem?
This is Brad.
Brad.
I use full screen, and yes, it happens on full screen.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Marty.
Joe, well, first of all, is it just happening once? And are you talking on the phone or are you using a headset? Because I believe I always use Bluetooth headsets when I make about 99% of my calls, and I don't get that. Or if I get it, it's not that loud and it doesn't really override the person talking. But if you try the Bluetooth headset, that might help you.
All right,
This is
so Joe.
This
go
is
ahead.
Joe.
Mhm.
What I'm using is iOS earbuds. Rather than, I do have a couple of headsets, but I have to charge those up more. So I'm lazy. I just use these. Most often, I'm just holding the telephone, and I'm almost totally blind, so I have no idea what's going on the screen. But I think that 3-finger double tap sounds like a great solution to this.
All right. Well, Joe, we are so want to encourage you. And, you were saying about you feel like such a novice, and we were all there. I absolutely promise you that. Okay. And, this is a learning journey, and we're here to help each other. So keep asking your questions and keep coming back, because that helps us also, when explaining something, that helps us learn it again as well. All right. So thank you, Joe. All right.
This is Maria.
Go ahead.
Super quick to close the loop on the calendar thing. So I figured out what I did. So the bug is that the list option, so you go into your calendar, you select your month, then you're supposed to select your date, your day. Even though there is a list option there, it has no effect on that screen. But when on that screen where you pick the day, but once you pick the day, and actually for me, once I pick the day, so once I've opened the day, the list button automatically is actually selected, and I do see those dates as headings with their events. If I unselect the list button, I see the time pickers for that specific day to be able to choose a time and see what appointments are available. But again, if I pick the list button, it does actually then go back to a list. So the bug is that the list button, even though it's available on that screen of picking the days, it doesn't have an effect there. Yes, you have to pick your day first, and then the list feature should work.
Okay, thank you, Maria, for the follow-up. All right. Do I hear somebody?
Michael?
Michael, yes, sir?
Yeah, I got a question. I don't know if anybody using AirPod, I'm using AirPods Pro, so Bluetoothing to my iPhone, and I can listen to music and podcasts and everything else and use voiceover. But as soon as I get a call, the AirPods disconnect. This has been going on for several days now, maybe a week. And I haven't been
This
able
is Terry.
to figure out what I'm doing here.
This is Brad.
Terry and then Brad.
I don't have AirPods, but I use bone conduction headphones, and I have the same problem, and it's been happening for eons for me.
All right, thanks,
Like
Terry.
months, a year or more.
Okay, no resolution. Okay, Brad.
Okay, when you are using AirPods or really any kind of Bluetooth device, if the phone rings, you don't want to answer it by double tapping on the screen of the phone. You want to answer it by using the Bluetooth device. So if you're using your AirPods Pro, you want to reach up to either one of the two AirPods Pro and give them a quick double squeeze on the little, whatever you call the little button on the stem. And that should do it. And the call should come through the Bluetooth device. It's just kind of how they work. If you got Bluetooth on and you answer it on the phone by double tapping, your sound comes out of the phone. It's different when you make a call, but when you answer one, it kind of goes against your natural, idiosyncratic motion. I usually pick up the phone, I double tap it. Oh, I just lost, Bluetooth.
This is Terry.
But if you remember to answer it on the Bluetooth device, it should stay with the device.
All right, just one quick before I get to Terry. Mr. McCulloch, you didn't say you're using your watch, right? You're using this on your phone. Is that right?
Yeah, on the phone.
On the phone. Okay, sorry.
I do what Brad says. I do answer it using the AirPods little button, and that's when it disconnects. So that's what's been puzzling this past week, why it's doing that.
Okay, let's see. Maybe Terry Ann has a solution. Go ahead.
I don't, because the problem is that it disconnects such that it doesn't even ring on my earbuds or my bone conduction headphones. It just rings on the phone, so that there's a total disconnect. So even if I try to answer it with the button on the earphones or whatever, it doesn't work because they're not connected. So I have to disconnect and reconnect them.
All right, go ahead, Marty. Thank you, Terry. Go ahead, Marty.
Michael, it could be another thing is because with that same stem button that you use to answer the call, you end the call. So maybe if you're squeezing it too long. The other thing is, have you checked the audio routing in audio settings? Because I think there's like automatic routing, or there's about, routing to your phone. It involves like Bluetooth headsets, I think.
Michael.
Or it might be call routing or something like that.
All right, Mr. McCulloch.
Yeah, I've checked the routing, and so in my situation, I'm pretty sure I'm not double clicking it, because I hear, as soon as I do that, then I don't hear anything on the Bluetooth, but I can hear the voice coming through the phones, and then I pull the phone out of my pocket and start talking to the person on the phone like that. But so Yeah, it's kind of puzzling what's going on there.
This is Marty.
Go ahead, Marty.
I'm not sure of those settings. I think we might have even talked about it on this call a long time ago. I just leave mine on automatic because I'm not familiar with the different settings and what they do, and it seems to work for me.
All right, Mr. McCulloch, have you already tried unpairing and forgetting and repairing and all that? Obviously, right?
No, I haven't done that.
Oh,
we have
okay.
to try that.
This is Brad.
Brad.
Yeah, I stand corrected. It's a single click to answer the phone and hang up the phone. The double click is for like call waiting. So
right.
Never mind on that. It's a single click.
Okay.
And it's a quick one. If you hold it too long, that does your noise reduction modes and other things. So it's just a quick little squeeze of either stem.
All right. Okay. Practice quick squeezes. Okay. Thank you, Mr. McCulloch, for that question. Okay. Who's next? Who's that? Thought I heard somebody. All right. Somebody else.
This is Maria.
Yes.
I guess super quick question. For anyone who's running the 15.2 update, if you use the notification summary, have you found that it's basically made that kind of inaccessible? Like basically now each of the notification groupings will just say the name of the app once as a button, and you can't actually know what the notifications are.
All right, go ahead, Herbie.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I just noticed that today, actually.
Yeah.
But yes, it does that, and it's a little bit. I mean, I think to be fair, I don't. A lot of the stuff I put in there, notifications, I rarely look at anyway. But still, it is a little bit annoying. So.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Maria, for pointing that out. Okay. Who's next? Somebody new? Hadn't had a turn? New question.
This is Marty.
Yes, sir.
I know for the AirPods Pro and Max, there's spatial audio settings. Is there a spatial audio in audio settings or somewhere in settings just in general for the phone? Because I thought I saw it once somewhere and I don't know where it is.
This is
All
Herbie.
right. Anybody? Go ahead, Herbie.
No, the spatial audio has to deal with the actual phone model itself. So, any phone model 11 and upwards has the Dolby Atmos sound card built into it. But there's like some settings for like say spatial audio for Apple Music that's a little separate from like the spatial audio settings for the AirPods or whatever. So there's some spatial audio stuff for that, but that only works with AirPods or any other kind of Bluetooth headphones that have spatial audio support. But I've never seen one for the actual phone itself, but I've never seen any other than FaceTime video. I've never seen any spatial audio for the phone anyway, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, who's next? Another question? Somebody?
Kelsey?
Yes, Kelsey, go ahead.
I have a question about the music recognition control and control center. I was playing around with it the other day, and I noticed that if I'm playing music from my phone that I've imported from iTunes or whatever, it works. But when I was listening to a station on Sirius XM with my A lady, and I was trying to use the music recognition to figure out what song was playing, it kept saying no matches found. So I'm just wondering, does that only work in certain cases?
All right. Anybody have any ideas for Kelsey about music recognition feature? So you're just playing a song and tried that out and it didn't work.
Right. Yeah. Like I can get it to work like if I was playing a song on my phone. Like if I had, if it was playing on my phone and I pulled up the music recognition, it recognized it. But when I was listening to Sirius XM on my A Lady, it wouldn't, for some reason, it wouldn't pick up the Sirius XM. So I wonder if maybe that's, if it's protected somehow with Sirius XM, I'm not sure, but.
All right. Anybody else have any thoughts?
This is Stephen.
Go ahead.
So I'm curious, Kelsey, are you doing that through Siri? Like are you asking Siri, what's the name of this song?
No, I'm talking about in the control center, there's a music recognition tool that you can add to control center, and that's what I'm trying. And
okay.
It won't work with, no, like it works. The only way that I can get it to work is if I use it, if I have the music on my phone and I just play it through my phone. But if I'm playing it on the A Lady or Sirius XM, it doesn't work. So
yeah, I have found that the asking Siri to name a song, like if you're listening to it on the radio or another device, it is 99.9% excellent. I mean, I think I've only had one or two instances where it won't do a match. I found that works better.
Okay, because I was just playing around to see if I could get it to work, but obviously there must be some kind of bug with it where it doesn't work if you're playing music on another device, apparently.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's just exclusive to the phone that it works for, and it's not recognizing the other devices. But the Siri feature, when you ask her to identify it, it definitely does that with really, it is, as long as she can hear it, it doesn't matter what device you're on.
Okay, so I probably could have, so I'd probably have better luck
I think so. Yeah.
with using Siri than trying to mess with music recognition. Herbie. Well, I just thought I'd play with it, but.
Okay, no, that's a good question. Okay, all right, Herbie, quickly, and then we're gonna keep
going back. So when you say it works with stuff from iTunes, so like those are songs that you're actually playing on your phone.
Correct. Yeah.
Now, have you tried playing any songs from any other app on your phone?
I have not tried that.
So one thing you could try then is using the Alexa app on your phone. You could try playing SiriusXM through that app because it'll access the skill the same way. And at least it does with most skills, so it's worth a try. And then try using the music recognition that way and see if it works.
Okay, yeah.
Or the SiriusXM app as well is another option, directly.
Yeah, I've not had much luck with that app, but.
Right, but you could use the Alexa app on your phone to play SiriusXM the way you would on your device, and if it plays, then try the music recognition again and see if that yields any different results. The other possibility.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, the other thing I just wanted to mention real quick too is mic placement can also be key. The closer it is to the speaker, the better it's going to hear it. So that could be another factor too. Like if you had it far away, it would have a harder time hearing. So
all right, Maria, go ahead.
Yeah. So just if this is a bug, just so you know, if you wanted to do it without using Siri, this whole thing uses this underlying app Shazam, which Apple purchased, SHAZAM. So you can download the Shazam app, and then you could open that and use the Shazam button, and that certainly will recognize songs played from other sources. I've tried it, and I believe, I haven't played with it, but I believe there's maybe, if you do it frequently, I think there is actually a Shazam widget of some sort that you can add. So you could, have it somewhere where you, like on your today's screen, or you probably be able to put it on your home screen or whatever, one of your screens. So then you would just, have it there as well. So in theory, that could work as well. So ultimately, I guess my suggestion is to use the Root app.
All right, the Root
This is
app,
Sri.
or Sri.
Hey, I think what Maria said is correct, but I thought Siri is talking to Sam when it's looking for the name of the song.
I think it is. Yeah.
And like Steven said, it's like she's just, you say, okay, Siri, what's this song? Or you don't even have to say Siri, just say, what is this song? And then just like, hang on, let me listen or whatever. And then she'll just tell you. So
this is Steven.
I think, yes, Steven.
Yeah, that's correct. I don't have the Shazam app. That it just, I mean, I can just do it from anything and it'll pick up, and it doesn't even have to be that loud sometimes, but yeah, that's how it works.
All right.
This is Shrey.
Okay. Very go ahead, Trey.
I think Shazam is basically it's pretty much embedded now.
Right.
I think you might, if you just search on your app library for Shazam, it might already be there.
Okay.
It might get installed with the music app because, like Maria said, it was purchased by Apple, and I think that's what they're using to recognize the songs now.
And I think it's an official verb now. Shazam it, I think, maybe. All right. Well, we're going to say it is. Okay. Anybody else with the new question? Thank you, Kelsey, for that question.
This is Shri.
Yeah.
I got a new question.
Okay.
So occasionally when I ask Siri to make a phone call, it says I can only make one call at a time. Do we know what generates that?
All right. Anybody having that issue? Anybody?
This is Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
When I ask Siri to call my home phone, and I'll say call Terry, and she'll say there's no name Terry on here, and then I'll say call Terry Ann, because that is legally my first name and that's how I have it in the phone. And he'll say, I can only call one person at a time. Who would you like to call? So then I have to go to my contacts and find my name and my home phone number and call it that way, because Siri just is very confused. So I wonder if it's a bug.
All right. So Shri might be out of luck. I've had the same issue. All right. Thank you.
This is Herbie.
This
Herbie.
is Marty.
Real quick, so I just did a search for Shazam. You said it was Shazam, right, Shri?
I didn't spell it.
Yeah.
You didn't spell it?
Yes, that was me, and yes, that's right.
Sorry.
No.
Okay, so I just did a search for it in my app library, and it did not show up. So I don't think it's pre-installed yet. If they're going to do that, so.
Yeah, it might be just part of Apple Music now or something.
Right.
Okay, Marty. Yeah, Marie.
Okay.
Maria.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say. I wonder if it's something too, just off the top of my head, about if there's like some setting about whether something needs microphone access and doesn't have it. I don't know if I know for Shazam you have to allow microphone access. I would think it wouldn't matter here, but I don't know.
Okay, Marty.
Yeah, I was gonna, Shri, I didn't get part of your question about phone calls. What was your question?
Go ahead,
This is Shri. So basically, when I say, call so-and-so, it says sometimes I can only call one person, but I haven't made a call to anyone. And I can't get out of that loop because it'll say, well, I can only call one person.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that yet, so.
All right. Okay, we have probably
this
time
is
for-
Kushal.
Okay, yes, Kushal?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I may have had this issue once more. I don't know what I don't know. That is weird, but maybe try resetting all your settings or something.
Okay. All right. Anybody with a really quick question? Because we are basically out of time. One more. Somebody who didn't get to ask a question, have to wait till next week or tomorrow. Anybody with a question? Going once. Out of time. Maybe 1 or 2 minute question.
This is Shri.
Okay, go ahead.
Just had a comment. Just want to wish everybody a prosperous 2022.
All right. Thank you, Shri. That's true. We wish everybody Happy New Year. Okay, so real quick, review real quick for tomorrow. We have Clubhouse Mac Buzz on Clubhouse from 5 to 6. We're going to be alternating first and third Mac Buzz, and then second and fourth will be Mini Buzz. Okay, so that's on Clubhouse. And then we have Thursday is iBUG Trekkie Talk. Friday is iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies, The Godfather Part 2. And then on Saturday, we have it's iBUG Unplugged, and that's going to be back here on Zoom. And then we have iBUG Cafe. So it's a busy week on that. The cafe is going to be talking about Zoom, our favorite app in the world right now. And that's from 4 to 6 Central Time. So we hope that you'll come and join us for any and all of these events. Maria, thank you for helping me host tonight.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you guys very soon. So have a great night, great week.
Have a good night.
Good night. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye,
This is
everybody.
Brooks. I
Happy
had a
New Year.
question.
Bye, everyone. Have a good week.
Stay well.